You can listen to a crystal clear signal of this station, KATH 910 AM, 24 hours a day, anywhere you are. If you have any questions about our app or need help setting it up on your phone, contact me through email, davepalmer@grnonline.com.
Have you ever heard of Esther Fernandez, a realtor with JP & Associates and a sponsor here on KATH 910 AM? She's a parishioner at Holy Spirit Parish in Duncanville and a supporter with GRN. Interest rates are currently low, and there are first-time buyer programs available for teachers, nurses, police, and firefighters. You can reach Esther by calling 214-845-1753 or by email at estherfernandez@gmail.com. That's ESTHERZ Fernandez@gmail.com.
I'll bet you know by now that Amazon Smile is a great way to support your favorite charity. And supporting the Guadalupe Radio Network while you shop is easy. Step 1. Just start off at smile.amazon.com. Step 2. Choose La Promesa Foundation as your charity. La Promesa Foundation is the parent company of Guadalupe Radio Network. And Step 3. Enjoy your shopping. Amazon will donate a portion of your purchase to the La Promesa Foundation, and it doesn't cost you any extra. La Promesa Foundation and Guadalupe Radio Network, thank you.
Attention all commercial building owners. Are you having constant problems with roof leaks in your properties? My name is Maury Buford, owner of Buford Roofing and Construction and a longtime sponsor of the Guadalupe Radio Network. Water leaks are disruptive and very aggravating. We can explain how these issues can be eliminated if you call us at 817-329-ROOF or on our website at BufordRoofing.com. That's BufordRoofing.com.
Hi, this is Dave Palmer. Did you know that every Friday afternoon beginning at 2 p.m., I host a program called Back to the Father on the GRN social media sites? Each week, Sissel, Jonathan, Diane, and I discuss in a fun and lighthearted way some topic related to the teachings of St. Thomas Aquinas in the Summa Theologia. And yes, I did just include fun, lighthearted, and Summa Theologia in the same sentence. If you're interested in the program, email me, davepalmer@grnonline.com, and I'll send you more details.
Are you a small company in need of tech support? Do you have technical issues that come up and you don't know what to do? Does your church need guidance with live streaming? I am Charles Gura, a parishioner at St. Catherine of Siena Parish in Carrollton and a sponsor of KATH 910 AM. Whether it's making sure computers are updated or they are backed up, ProMultis can provide these and other services. We can be reached at 214-702-6996 or online at pro-multis.com. That's pro-multis.com.
Thank you for listening to the Guadalupe Radio Network and being part of the family. Families pray for each other. We would be honored if you would let us pray with you and for you. You don't even have to tell us your name. Just go to our website, grnonline.com, or call our prayer request line and leave us a message at 800-395-4008. That's 800-395-4008. We will be praying for you every day.
Are you looking for a tax preparer this year to help you with your personal or business tax filing or management? At Balance Book LLC, they can assist with business and personal tax returns, accounting services, sales tax, payroll, business formations, and more. They can be reached by calling 972-805-5095. Or you can visit them at 4425 West Airport Freeway, Suite 122, Irving, Texas 75062. Balance Book LLC, a new sponsor of the GRN and members of Holy Spirit Catholic Church in Duncanville. Are you a young adult looking for the right path through the challenges and changes in your life? Do you wish to do God's will but don't know how? Join Young Catholic Professionals April 29th through May 1st for their 2022 conference, Thy Will Be Done on Earth as It Is in Heaven. A weekend of inspirational speakers, enriching small group discussions, and the sacraments together with 600 plus witnesses for Christ from across the nation. Visit ycpconference.org to register. Registration closes April 7th.
Welcome to Back to the Father, a show about the journey of life focused on our final end, which is God Himself, our loving Father. And now, here's your host, Dave Palmer.
And we welcome you to yet another edition of Back to the Father here on the Guadalupe Radio Network social media sites. I see a few people have already jumped on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, so welcome to all of you. Got a great topic today, and of course we have our in-studio panel, co-hosts, and one surprise guest I didn't even know was going to be here. A young lady by the name of Charlotte. I'll officially introduce her in just a moment. I'm just meeting her for the first time. So anyways, welcome. And we like when you participate. You can either, type out messages or questions or comments on all the social media sites. You can also call in. We don't get many calls, but if you want to call in and let us hear your voice, call in 877-757-9424, 877-757-9424. The basic premise of this program is that we talk about something related to the teaching of St. Thomas Aquinas in the Summa Theologia. We try to have fun. We try to make it light. We spend the first 30, 45 minutes doing that, and then we close out the show with a trivia challenge, and we appreciate your participation in that as well. So anyways, my name is Dave Palmer. I like Thomas Aquinas and the Summa, and it just kind of excites me a lot. And then I drag some somewhat willing participants every week. So you didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, you were kind of the one.
No, I guess that's in my job description. I didn't have any,
just,
any say in that.
Yeah. Is that officially in your job description that you'll be the co-host?
It wasn't in my original job description. That was added after the fact.
So you officially don't have to do it, right?
I could. Whoa, I didn't even know that was an option.
not to give you any ideas.
No, okay, fine.
All right. And so that's Sissel. She wears hats.
I do.
She's our North Texas assistant. And do you want to put like a wild, who knows about the Share-a-thon next week and your need for volunteers in case? Because we're going across literally the world right now on the internet. But if somebody's in North Texas, they want to come out here next
Or if they want to
Thursday.
commute from India or something,
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be great. Yeah. So if anyone is watching and you are in the North Texas area, we are in need of 2 volunteers for our morning shift of the Share-a-thon. So that's on Thursday, March 24th here in Irving, Texas. And you just answer phone calls, eat from our people who want to make donations. You get to talk to some amazing people. You hear lovely stories. And you get to eat a lot of yummy food and hang out with a lot of other cool Catholic people. And it's from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you are in the North Texas area and you want to do that, feel free to email us. You can email kath@grnonline.com. So if you and a friend want to come, that would be great. So kath@grnonline.com, March 24th. That's a Thursday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m.
All right. Well done.
Thank
Very
you.
succinct. Okay, before we introduce the young lady there to Sissel's right, we're going to go in proper order here and introduce Jonathan von Weber Hansberg.
Hello.
Who does not have his mic on.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Hello?
All
Oh,
right.
there we go. All right.
All right.
Whoa, comes booming in.
Yeah, good to see you, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I got to spend the weekend at the Alamo.
Pretty awesome.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So any takeaways? Did you learn something, or did you already know all the history? Or
Well,
what's...
apparently there's this one part of the wall that wasn't part of the renovation they did a while back.
Yeah.
And it said that it was the oldest building in Texas, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Isn't it true that all the Texans that volunteered to fight, basically it was a death sentence? They knew that what Santa Anna was coming, and he was well outnumbered them, so they basically signed up to sacrifice their lives for an ideal. Is that
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Yeah, and that's
Just to hold them off.
yeah, awesome. Well, cool. Well,
Remember the Alamo.
Yeah, glad you made it. And
That's
Diane Xavier is on the other side of the glass there, and she sometimes chimes in. She takes calls. I don't know how you do it, Diane, all the calls that come streaming in. but
Oh, yeah, I know.
We have
So
a
many calls.
backlog,
Somehow,
it's really hard.
somehow she does it. So we appreciate her very much. No, but seriously, if you want to call in, we'd like to hear your voice. 877-757-9424. The topic today is evil.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Lighthearted, you know?
Yeah, just some
good.
light fun. But let's introduce Charlotte. She's
right.
12 years old, and I already have great admiration for you, Charlotte, because I think there's a lot of 12-year-olds that would not want to do what you're doing right now and just kind of get on a show. You don't even really know us or Sissel. But anyways, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So you're 12. You're a sixth grader.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're Catholic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know St. Thomas Aquinas? When you hear that name, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, who is he?
Like maybe the first thing in my mind, I think about church and all our families.
Okay, yeah. So he lived in like the 13th century, like the scholastic age, like the Middle Ages, right? Do you like philosophy? Do you ever like think about life and what the purpose of your life is and that kind of thing?
I think about my life and my other sister's life and my families, but I don't think about other people's life.
Think about life in
So
general.
you're
yeah.
not thinking about the purpose of my life. I got. By the way, and again, you're really bright. The fact that you can just kind of talk off the top of your head like that's amazing. Yesterday, I had to take an Uber drive from the office home. I get in the car, and the lady, I forget how the conversation went, but we started talking philosophy.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And we started talking about the purpose of life, and it was an amazing conversation. In fact, she missed her exit 3 times. I didn't hold it against her because she was just so much into the conversation. Because
Yeah.
Uber drivers tend to be just flawless, because they. But she was so into it, and I said, "Oh, don't hey, you just missed your exit. Don't forget this next one." And do you at a young age kind of know what you want to do, or what your purpose is, or what do you think you want to? What is God's purpose in Charlotte's life? Do you think?
Maybe because I want to grow up, I might want to do this for my free time. And
Being on radio shows?
Yes.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
and
this is great.
when I do my moral jobs for weeks, I will do a dog groomer, be a dog groomer, or a veterinarian.
Oh, wow. That's very varied interest there from radio. I remember the first time I ever stepped into a studio. It was a top 40 station right across the street here on 114 in Irving. And it was just such an electric feeling. I mean, I was older than you, Jonathan, but
Yeah.
I just love being in a radio studio. Does this kind of like fun for you? Because you don't seem nervous at all.
No.
I was terrified when I was first on the air. You're handling it way better than I did.
There's a lot of people 4 times your age that come in here to be interviewed, and they're literally shaking. I mean, because they're so nervous. So that may say something about you,
I'm
Charlotte.
not being outside, but I am inside.
Are you nervous inside, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Charlotte's not someone who gets nervous for these things.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan used to be kind of quiet.
Yeah, and I was shaky when I was first talking on the
Oh,
air.
really? Yeah, because you used to sit over here.
Yeah.
The first couple times you were on.
Yes,
so,
he
all
was.
right.
Yeah, Charlotte-
Thank you, Charlotte. Boy.
Yeah, she's a baby Catholic too. She's my sister's goddaughter, and she came into the church only in the last couple years.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I'm
Nice.
really impressed. There's no way I would have done that when I was her age.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I was so shy and so nervous. And she was like,
Oh yeah, her sisters are hiding in the other room. They're like, no.
All right, so let's get right to the topic.
Yeah.
Again, looks like we got a few other people joining us
Yeah.
now. And again, a few comments. I was thinking we're going to get to the point at some point where, you ever been on a YouTube page or a Facebook page where they're actually scrolling? There's so many people.
Yeah.
I remember I watched like a Donald Trump speech or something. And there's so many people watching that you can't even read the comments. They're going by so fast. And if you put one in, it's only on the screen for
Like a second.
It's like,
You're like, oh, there it goes.
Why
And
can't we
so-
be like this?
well, we're not there yet, but we're not scrolling. But we do have a good number of people that are on. So
Yeah.
anyway, thanks so
We
much.
have our friend Buddy back.
Oh,
Hey,
Buddy's back.
Buddy.
So I want to say he earned his paralegal certificate.
Oh,
so
is
he must
that
have been busy
right?
doing that in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so-
priorities, buddy.
Right?
Come on, priorities. But anything that our dear friend Mark is here, he called me Hoss.
Like Haas from Bonanza.
Yeah, look at that old soul.
I love
I
Bonanza.
didn't know what that meant.
I've never
I
watched
can't
an
believe you've not
episode.
watched Bonanza. It's a Western.
All right. So, anyways,
watch it.
Sissel will be looking at the comments
Mm-hmm.
and reading out any of the ones that seem to be pertinent to the topic that we're talking about. So, this is really a fascinating thing that we're going to talk about today because we're going to talk about evil. And it actually, evil, because you said, oh, light topic and all that. Evil actually, in Thomistic philosophy, has a real kind of flip it around, anyways, it's going to be hard for me to explain, but anyway, so let's talk about it. I got an image here of our hero, St. Thomas Aquinas. As I mentioned, the basis of this program is talking about his philosophy. He lived basically right smack dab in the middle of the 13th century. This was the time of high Christendom, the Middle Ages, scholasticism. I tend to think it was a really, really cool time to live. This is the age of, St. Francis and St. Dominic and St. Bonaventure and Albert the Great and, some of the greatest saints that ever lived and great doctors of the church were here. So, all right. So word association, when you think of evil, what's the first thing comes to your mind? Not Dr. Evil from Austin Powers.
Oh, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Go for it.
I think of Mermaid Man from SpongeBob when he would shout evil.
I can see the different pop culture point of reference we both have. So if we're just talking.
I know who SpongeBob is.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I've never seen an
I don't know the
episode.
character he's talking about. Sorry, I didn't watch SpongeBob either. I think of the Evil Woman song by Electric Light Orchestra. If we're just talking about the word, if we're talking about like what is evil, that's a little bit different. But like the word, I'll probably think of a lot of pop culture references.
Mermaid Man for me.
Yeah. All right. How about all you good people out there in social media land? First, Colin loves Bonanza. It just amazes me. I always say this in Sissel's young life. She somehow had the time to watch every show.
At least a little bit of every show.
I think so. I have never even seen
Bonanza.
before. So,
yeah.
All right. So let me show you an image, and this is going to kind of help you understand St. Thomas's idea that he's going to get at, because he's going to say evil does not have a nature. Okay, like evil in a sense there's nothing. No essence of evil. Like it doesn't have an essence. Okay, it's not a thing. So to speak.
I remember this.
Do you remember that now? Okay, so here's my comparison. Do you see the bald guy, the conductor of the symphony?
He looks like Dr. Evil.
Yeah, he does. He does. That was just by chance. But all right, so this guy. Imagine you're a great conductor. Right, and you and everything is going swimmingly, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden, there's
taking a lot of imagining, by the way.
yeah, especially for me. Okay,
Yeah.
So and then all of a sudden there's an off note. Okay, and of course you notice it immediately, but you don't so much. You notice it because it sounds off, but it's only off because you know what it should sound like.
And that is what evil is. Because evil is just the absence of good. It's just a void.
Exactly. You already knew that?
Yeah, I did a class. We did a
he's been doing philosophy classes.
Yeah.
So he's.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a very optimistic look at evil. You
Yeah,
know?
I was going to say that is a little bit. A couple of people have commented with their association with evil. So Buddy says the devil.
Yeah.
And
who is good in his essence.
Yeah.
By the way. Yeah.
Colin on YouTube said, I associate evil with trash metal.
Trash metal.
Thrash metal.
Oh, thrash metal.
Thrash metal. That makes more sense. He corrected that. I was like, I've not heard of trash metal.
Trash metal.
And
garbage.
He just made up a new genre.
Yeah, I was like,
Right
wow.
there.
Congratulations. And White Wolf said, evil is always a lack of something, an imperfection.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So let me. I'm going to show a couple images here, and then I just some food for thought. So this is an image. And I hate to even look at this kind of stuff, but these are I presume Jewish people, but somebody being led off by Nazi soldiers, presumably to their death. And so typically when people think historically of evil, that's normally the first thing that comes to mind. In modern day, abortion. But so I think Aquinas would say, okay, presuming these people were being led off to their death, we immediately think, well, that's not what should be. You know, somebody should be allowed to live their life and live in peace, and to be dragged off to a death for no particular reason other than what your race or religion is. That's like it's an absence of good. It's almost like it's because you focus on the good, right?
Yeah.
It's like you get served a bad dinner at a restaurant. You know, it's only bad because you were expecting the good. You know, does that make sense? Okay. The other thing I think people often think about, the next slide here, is what happened at 9/11.
Right.
Which, I mean, they I guess these guys, the reason that they would have been convinced to fly a plane into a building in their own certain death is that they thought there was some good associated, right?
Right.
They were going to die and. They were going to get rewarded by God. But objectively speaking, that's pretty weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Now, Aquinas would consider this to be an evil, like blindness. Okay? So it's not that the person is evil, that guy is not evil, but because it's a privation.
Isn't that called a natural evil, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a natural evil, but anything that, because it's not natural, it's not to be blind, right? Because immediately when you think of blindness, you think, well, he should see, right? It's more natural to see. And then the last one I'm going to show is kind of interesting. Are y'all familiar? I don't know if you talked about this. The Nuns of Compiègne, the Carmelite.
Oh, I've seen an opera on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know about that a little bit.
Yeah, this was, those of you out there, are you familiar? This is one of the most inspiring stories that I have ever heard. And the reason I put it up here is that even though what happened to them in the Reign of Terror in the French Revolution is just pure evil, like when I see this image, it actually makes me happy, you know?
Yeah, it's uplifting. It's
very uplifting. So how did something evil become uplifting? You know, and can all evil ultimately uplift? I mean, the crucifixion of Jesus, I mean, is very uplifting, right?
It's uplifting because of how okay, how to put this? Are you saying like it's uplifting because of how the people responded to it? Because like they're obviously now an inspiration. Is that what we're saying? It's uplifting.
Yeah, it's like the good that
it's
came
because of how brave and the good that they were this example of faith.
Yeah, and also the fact that it wasn't. And you know, if you read the accounts of it, and I should probably explain for those who are not familiar with it.
That's a good idea.
The nuns of Compiègne were an order of Carmelite nuns back in France in the. I guess that would be the 18th century, right? At the Reign of Terror was like 1789 to 1799, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
And so one of the first things that you know the revolution of France, what they did was they went and they found the religious orders, which is interesting in and of itself. Why would they care? Why,
right.
You know, these cloistered nuns
who are literally just praying all day.
Yeah, but it shows like they actually get it. They get that they have got to, which is weird because if they get it, why are they doing what they're doing? You know? But they were associated with, you know, Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. So if there was association between church and state, they were bad and they had to be killed. But the story goes that as the nuns of Compiègne were being led to the guillotine and, you know, ascending this stage, and they were all going to get their heads chopped off, they were all singing songs of praise. Yes. And there was no panic. There was no stress. They were singing Veni Sanctus Creator.
Yes. Yeah. And it was, there's an opera that was written about it, and I've seen performed.
Oh, really?
And it was, it's very hard to watch it at the end because you're literally one by one going up, and then you hear like the sound of a guillotine. And but they're singing, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. So I think the reason it doesn't like upset me is that, first of all, it didn't seem to upset them too much, and also there's a greater good associated with it because they know it. You know, they would have had to have an amazing dose of the gift of fortitude and to be able to endure something like that.
And if they can do something like that, I can handle my small problems.
Right.
Yeah, like dinner being too cold or
stubbing my toe.
I wish it was 72 in this room. It actually feels like 70. So come on, can somebody please fix that? I had a little, like my cable, my computer, somehow disappearing today. It's like that.
Somehow,
for first world problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, and you have a first world employee along with you who likes to give them away.
That's a whole different story. But anyways, so that's the topic, and I'll give you a couple of the quotes from St. Thomas Aquinas here. But it looks like, White Wolf, he is en fuego here. Do we want to read some of these?
He's talking about, Colin commented that living a life in mortal sin opens the door to all that is evil. And White Wolf said, living a life in mortal sin is the greatest evil because it makes the soul a desolation and defaces the images of God.
Yeah, okay. So mortal sin and it would be an evil, but anything that we sin mortally would just be the privation of the good that we should have done instead of the sin, right? All right, so that's the topic. Thanks for all the comments. Let me go through a few of these. And so if you go back to question 6 of the Summa, and this is the part on God.
The beginning.
Way back. There's like 631 questions in the Summa. So this is question number 6, and it says that God is good. So this is one of his qualities, attributes, I guess you could say. That God not only is good, God is goodness. Okay, so you can't say God is good. God is goodness itself, right? So to be good belongs preeminently to God, for a thing is good according to its desirableness. Everything seeks after its own perfection, and the perfection and form of an effect consists in a certain likeness to the agent. So if God is existence, God is goodness, then everything that we desire is related to God. So ultimately, that's why, I've mentioned this before, I don't believe in atheists. And they
really? What?
I
thought you were an atheist, Dave.
No, I didn't say I'm not an atheist. I said I don't believe in them.
Oh.
which is
Yeah.
kind of ironic because they don't believe in God. I don't believe in them. So-
Yeah.
There's a circle of life going on over there.
There you go.
Right. I mean, because you can't. I don't know. I don't. I've never been an atheist. The whole thought of even for one moment not believing there's a God, it's just so beyond me. Because Thomas would say that belief in God is natural. It's not something that requires supernatural grace to believe that there's a God in the first place, right? So if you understand the concept that God is goodness, and then we naturally desire goodness, therefore we desire God just by our very nature, then you can see. And the other thing is that everything that exists is good. Okay, so since if sin exists, if it had being, it would have to be good. So that's why Thomas, in that famous story when he was in the eating with the king and he slammed his fist on the table, that's actually what I think he came up with. He came up with this idea because he said that'll settle the Manichaeans. Because the Manichaeans believed that there was like the God of good and the God of evil. There was a kind of a dualistic kind of religion. But I think this is what hit him as he was eating with the king and the queen, and all of a sudden he slams his fist on the table and said, and it came to him that okay, that's it. The evil doesn't have any being at all.
Because if it did have being, God would have had to have created it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of plays into a question that Buddy asked. He says, does St. Thomas explain if God did not create evil, where did evil come from?
Well, no, actually, that we're going to cover that.
Got it. Okay,
yes.
well, Buddy's just like, he's standing by, he's waiting for that answer.
All right. Well, we'll stand by there. And so, anyways, I won't read all of this. Dionysius, down there in the third from the bottom line, attributes good to God as to the first efficient cause, saying that God is called good, as by whom all things subsist. So God is first efficient cause. He creates everything. It's kind of like a loop. God creates everything, but he's our beginning and our end, the Alpha and Omega. And so he creates us, and then we're also drawn back to him. So it's really kind of metaphysically kind of interesting to. All right, so I want to get to Buddy's question, but all right. So God wills all things apart from himself. Okay, and there's a line in here. That you ever heard the saying that goodness is self-effusive, like that goodness always wants to spread itself.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you don't believe that, stop somebody and ask them for directions sometime, and they'll light up because everybody likes to help people,
it's fun.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you say, hey, do you know where? Oh
Yeah.
because we're kind of made to give of ourselves.
And then you start fighting with the other people who are trying to give them directions because your directions are better and they don't know what they're talking about.
Wow, this has gotten very personal. Very specific.
Yeah, did I open a wound, Jonathan?
It happens at work all the time.
Oh, okay. I can tell. Yeah. So, all right. So, and it's also, so it says, goodness is self-effusive. Especially does this pertain to the divine will, from which all perfection is derived in some kind of likeness. So God's eternal, he's infinite, he's good, and so he's just kind of like this constant goodness machine, like a little vending machine that's just constantly
giving.
Handing out goodness. And so, I mean, does that not entirely change your whole perspective on everything? That evil doesn't even have an essence, doesn't even have a nature? I mean, that's... It changes everything, but it's not like, oh, okay, well, everything's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll get to Buddy's question in a moment. So it's also, I don't know if I've shown you this one before, kind of like the asking for directions. We naturally, it's like Toya talks about during the share-a-thons, the warm fuzzies.
Yes.
When you do something good for somebody, you feel good about yourself.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, why? Because it's who we are, right? It's what we're supposed to do, right? All right, which also gets into virtue. Virtue is a good quality of the mind by which we live righteously, of which no one can make bad use, which God works in us without us. For virtue is man's goodness, since virtue it is that makes a subject good. So that's why the acquired virtues, the moral virtues, help us to live a good life here below. It helps us to align with a good life and happiness, and then the intellectual virtues, align our intellect to the good and the true, and then the theological virtues unite us directly with God. And so it's like these little gifts that God gives us to, direct us. It's kind of like staying in the right lane.
It's a lane assist.
Yeah, right.
Goes ding, ding, ding.
But it's like, but if we had like something in our car that didn't allow us to get out of the lane,
Yes.
you like if you got out of the lane, which is probably coming one of these days.
I think
These
there's something very
self-driving
similar
cars.
where if you fall out of the lane, it'll actually direct you back into the lane.
And that would be like taking away free will.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw those muffins there. It's like those are really tempting. I don't know. Wait, nobody.
Sorry, that was really random.
Nobody out
Just
there.
like just as
All
an
right.
FYI.
Okay. So I've talked a little while. Anybody got anything they want to share or any comments, or is everybody just silenced by the profundity of St. Thomas Aquinas' brilliance?
It's that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Colin says it's a great topic today, and he's he's appreciating it.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. We appreciate you being here, Colin, as well. Okay, let me get a few more of these in. And, okay, so here it is. Whether evil is a nature. Okay? Okay, I'm going to read this whole thing because I think this is the whole thing. This is the topic, right? One opposite is known through the other, as darkness is known through light. Hence also, what evil is must be known from the nature of good. Now, we have said above that good is everything appetible, which means we desire it. And thus, since every nature desires its own being and its own perfection, it must be said also that the being and the perfection of any nature is good. Hence, it cannot be that evil signifies being or any form or nature. Therefore, it must be that by the name of evil is signified the absence of good. And this is what is meant by saying that evil is neither a being nor a good, for since being as such is good, the absence of one implies the absence of the other. So there you have it. There's no evil. Okay,
Take that evil.
So we just solved all the world's problems
we
there,
just
right?
fixed
Just
it.
like, wow, there is no evil. Evil does not exist.
Yeah, it was kind of like if you. I'm trying to think of comparisons. It's like if you have a really good child, and then one day they come in and they're just acting really off. It's just like that's not you. That's I don't even recognize this person because that's not who you are. So we're aligned for goodness. We're aligned for truth and for God, right? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I thought you were making a different kind of point. I was just gonna say that the way my teacher described it before was that evil is just sort of like darkness. And good as light. It's just the absence, that kind of thing. But I thought that's what you were going for, but you were doing something else.
Yeah. But that's a good comparison as well. It's like the cause of hatred is love.
Right.
So if God forbid, let's say my wife was to have an affair, and I hate that man. It's not the root of my hatred is the love of my wife. Mm-hmm. So it's so the hatred is just like totally secondary. That's not even really the real emotion. It's love that has been pulled away from me, and then that causes the hatred, right? So it's kind of counterintuitive.
It is very.
It's pretty cool. So. All right, so a couple more here, and then we'll get on to roundtable discussion and take some of your comments as well. Is evil found in things? I find this really interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so then he says yes.
Wait. Okay, but I think is he just saying like in like physical things or
natural evils?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Well, let's read it and see if it makes sense to you. It says the perfection of the universe requires that there should be inequality in things, which in and of itself is really interesting because it's like. If it's like the fact that there's like irrational animals makes us understand ourselves better because if every creature was rational, it wouldn't be like that special, or you know what I mean? It's so that's what he says that you have to have a scale. You have to have a gradation because like if you look at like an earthworm, doesn't it make you feel good about yourself?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You're like, man, I am so attractive right now.
You worm.
Yeah. Well, they say sometimes some people like to hang around people that are less talented or less handsome or beautiful than them because it makes them feel better. So that's why God gave us all of the animals, and plus we can eat them.
Yeah, like I can crow louder than my chicken. Take that. I'm a better man.
Well, the chicken wasn't a man anyway, so.
Yeah, you're a man. It isn't a man.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a male, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Boy, that conversation went kind of weird.
Yeah.
I always make them weird at the end.
Yeah.
Jonathan's here just to make it weird about chickens.
That's why we appreciate you. You know, I had somebody that used to watch this show. I think I told Sissel this. I don't think I've told you. Somebody used to say, "Well, Jonathan's really serious, isn't he?"
Oh man,
And
I was like,
I'd always say, "No,
no.
he's not
he
serious."
talks about chickens. We're fine.
He's actually pretty goofy, but yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, not in an evil way, because that the evil of goofiness that doesn't exist. Okay, one grade of goodness is that of the good which cannot fail. Another grade of goodness is that of the good which can fail in goodness, and this grade is to be found in existence itself. For some things there are which cannot lose their existence as incorruptible things. Our souls are incorruptible.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so because they can't be destroyed. Now God could cause them to cease to exist if He wanted to, but they can't corrupt, right? But our bodies can. So does that mean our bodies are evil? Well, no, right? So, but I'm not quite sure what he's getting at. Maybe some people out there in social media land can help us here, buddy.
Love to have him
Colin?
for a conversation.
Okay, some there are which can lose it as things corruptible. So I'm thinking like a dog or a cat or a squirrel or a cricket.
Oh yeah, probably.
Totally corruptible.
Right.
Like when they die, the soul's gone.
corruption.
It's gone.
Yeah, just total corruption. A tree, they corrupts. I mean, pretty much everything, right?
Right.
Is corruptible. So does that mean that? But they're not evil because they're good. Creation is good. So I'm not quite sure about this.
Or is that they're fallen? I guess you could say
fallen?
because it's a fallen world, so it's imperfect. So
Right. Yeah.
could
So
just be-
had there not been original sin, there would not have been death, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the
So
animals would
that
have been.
brought corruption.
yeah, so that's technically an evil that I guess that you could say it's a natural evil that we cause.
Yeah.
Sort of by our.
Oh, interesting.
But because the good is life eternal, and then so the evil that really doesn't have a nature is death, because death, yeah, interesting. Okay, as therefore the perfection of the universe requires that there should be not only beings incorruptible but also corruptible beings, so the perfection of the universe requires that there should be some which can fail in goodness, and thence it follows that sometimes they do fail. So the perfection of the universe requires that something fails. Sissel, can you please explain that?
Yeah,
Come on.
yes.
we don't understand.
So first off,
Okay. Anybody out
Wait.
there want to weigh in on that?
hold on.
Okay.
I'm a little bit confused. Not gonna lie. Hold on a second. So when it says that there has to be something in the universe has to fail for perfection in the universe, is that what it's called? That was the
Yeah.
terminology he used?
Yeah, for the perfection of the universe, there has to be some things that can fail. I'm thinking for a game, like a football game,
Well-
to be successful, somebody has to lose. Like you can't win unless there's a lose.
Oh, interesting. But okay, so he's talking about, of course, where he's talking about like post
Fall.
sin, post fall, right? Post fall. That to be okay.
well,
Yeah.
I was.
I'm still confused.
Do you want to go?
Go for it.
All right. I was thinking that it's sort of like there has to be a gradient for there to be a standard at all. If
Yeah.
there was one thing, it couldn't be perfect or the worst because it just is. But if there's a good and a lesser good, then one is objectively more perfect and it's perfect.
Yeah.
While the other one it's there to make the other one perfect, I guess.
Yeah, that seems to make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it is in this that evil consists, namely in the fact that a thing fails in goodness. Hence it is clear that evil is found in things as corruption also is found, for corruption is itself an evil. So now he's saying corruption is an evil, but I thought evil didn't have a nature. So, but corruption, yeah. That's kind of confusing.
We really need
Thomas.
St. Thomas
Yeah.
to come in here and explain himself, please.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Man, he could be on the hot seat and
If he
everything.
could speak English, and maybe a little awkward.
Speak
if he's,
English. He could be alive. The
English didn't
couple-
even exist back
I
then.
like how that's
did
the
it?
first thing that you came up with was that the one short, like our stumbling block to having St. Thomas on the show was him not speaking English.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Not the whole like
Not the fact that he's not alive.
Yeah, not
Love
the fact
to
that he's
hire a
dead.
translator, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could manage a translator if we got St. Thomas here. I think we could have a budget for
The
that.
bigger obstacle is that
He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, but he's alive.
He's alive, yes.
His soul, separated soul is alive.
Should God decide that like St. Thomas needs to come and give an apparition to us? I mean, I wouldn't complain.
Wouldn't
Like
that be awesome?
that'd be
would be really
amazing.
cool.
He's like,
That-
you know what, St. Thomas, you need to go down to back to the Father.
Make
make an appearance.
and God could do that.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, people see angels all the time.
Yeah.
People are visited by Our Lady. There actually was one case of somebody who claimed that St. Thomas Aquinas visited them, at least the one that I know of, and it had to do with the pro-life cause. It was something like and maybe somebody out there knows what I'm talking about, but it was somebody who was like a pro-abortion person. And some people think that Thomas might have supported like some level of abortion because of delayed ensoulment.
Yeah.
I wrote a whole paper about that.
I'm like,
that's like nonsense. But yeah, so it's almost like he's coming back to clear his name. But if you do a search on the internet, maybe I can bring that up next week or something. But,
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that somebody did. But it doesn't hurt to ask if God wants to send. Boy, that increased ratings, wouldn't it?
It might.
Hey.
Next week on Back to the Father, we have St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
What? Literal miracle caught on camera.
That actually might catch some people's attention, and suddenly they'd be like, "Oh, if they're on their YouTube and the title is like St. Thomas, I'm back to the."
St. Thomas Aquinas joins
No
us.
one would believe us, though.
I bet 'cause he's called the dumb ox. I don't think he'd be that like electrifying. He'd probably talk kind of slow and.
5 minutes later, we get the answer of like, "How are you?"
Yeah. Like, well, the question you ask is indeed quite a difficult one to answer. Of how am I?
Yeah, we're like, man, this guy's boring me. All right. So last thing on there, we got comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you're done, you can finish the next thing, and I have a couple questions.
Yeah, I got to move on to. I got to move on to
I did
something
my-
that's I know.
Sorry.
That's how.
That's my tell,
My next
apparently.
thing is going to take a little bit. So you want to go ahead and mention the comment?
Oh,
or-
okay. Because I think it kind of talks about what we just were talking about. Buddy asks, for there to be perfection, there has to be imperfection. God is incorruptible. Then all other things has to be corruptible. He's like a question mark. He's asking about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, for you to say like, wow, that person is really tall, you have to know shortness, right? And
Right.
to say, wow, that person's beautiful, there has to be, to your point, Jonathan, there has to be some kind of level of comparison. If everybody looked exactly the same, then nobody would be ugly, nobody would be pretty, nobody, there has
Everyone
to be.
looked like everyone.
Yeah. That's like the old joke about, this isn't true about me, but somebody says like I was in the half of my graduating class that made the top half possible.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you ever heard that? Yeah. So it's like, without
Oh,
the
yeah. Well, when I graduated, I was the only person in my class. So I was top of the class, bottom of the class, and middle of the class.
There you go.
I was
So
on the
you're-
honor roll, and I
You're
failed.
the only person
I was,
in your whole class.
Yeah, because I was homeschooled.
Did you
and I
give
was
a
the only-
valedictorian speech?
I should have. You know what?
Yeah.
I did not get that honor. I qualified.
Yeah.
I was the valedictorian compared to everyone else.
Yeah. Well, you can,
I can still do it.
write one up. You can do it on the show sometime. Okay. All right. So thanks for the comment. And then the last thing here, can good be the cause of evil? We've already kind of explained that it is, but Thomas says it must be said that every evil in some way has a cause, for evil is the absence of the good, which is natural and due to a thing. But that anything fail from its natural and due disposition can come only from some cause drawing it out of its proper disposition. See, I love this. You ever heard people say like, I sinned because, hey, I'm only human, right? But it's like, no, that's not. That's not natural to us. We're naturally virtuous, but we also are fallen. For a heavy thing is not moved upward except by some impelling force, nor does an agent fail in its action except from some impediment. But only good can be a cause, because nothing can be a cause except inasmuch as it is a being, and every being as such is good. All right? Let's see. I'm not going to read the second paragraph there. But so it's pretty self-explanatory. God is good. God is the cause of all things. And even instrumental causes are good because God created them, and so they could only create something good. So we just eliminated evil from the world.
Good job.
Man, only took 1 hour. No, not even an hour. It took us 40 minutes to do that.
Oh, yeah.
What has everyone else in the world been doing for the last thousands of years?
So I wonder, like from a counseling standpoint, or like we're dealing with let's say like right now there's like clearly evil going on in Ukraine, that whole situation, and there's people being displaced, people being killed. There's been media people that have been killed, and so like from a pastoral standpoint, it's kind of hard to say, well, there's no such thing, there's no evil, it doesn't have a nature. That would not seem very pastorally sensitive, but how can this help, kind of day to day dealing with the things that seem to be pretty evil, like the stuff you read in the news, or child abuse, or murder. I don't know.
I have no idea either. Sorry.
So I was kind of counting on you.
To have all the answers today?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I wonder if they teach this in like Catholic counseling.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to take a Thomistic psychology class a few years ago, but then COVID happened, so.
Couldn't take it online?
No, I couldn't.
Thomistic psychology, you said?
Yeah.
Ooh, really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I know. I thought that'd be really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I had a counselor that I went to one time that was very Thomistic based, and I'd be surprised if a lot of learned Catholic counselors sure, hopefully it's in the curriculum because especially with the whole section in the Summa about the virtues and the vices, and how can you be a counselor if you don't know virtue?
Yeah,
a Catholic counselor.
That's true.
And Thomas kind of literally wrote the book on it because it's such a big section of the Summa. All right. Yeah, Diane, you've been awful quiet. Diane's just taking it all in.
Yeah, she
Diane's
is.
like, I just want the show to end so I can get one of those muffins. Yeah.
My muffins.
So if I get upset because you lend out one of my cables, do I still get a muffin?
Maybe. I was thinking about using them as like the trivia prize.
Oh, the trivia, right. But I gave that stuff
I was going to
up
say,
for
didn't you give up
Lent.
sweets? Yeah, I was like, when I got the muffins, I was like, here, I'll give this to Dave so he could be like, sorry for lending your thing out.
We had a lady, for those of you watching who don't know what we're talking about, a lady downstairs asked for a cable. Cecil went in and
I was super kind and generous.
Yeah, she was generous about my equipment, and so she lent it out. But,
yes.
But anyways, so we got.
But she gave muffins.
Yes, we gave muffins. Okay. All right. So that's that, and appreciate all the comments. Been a lot of comments during this program.
Dave, this was a question about the subject of evil. Was question number 6, right, in the Summa?
No, that was God's goodness.
That was God's goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, because Buddy's asking about if there's a particular question in the Summa that's on evil.
Yeah, well, here it is. I'm trying to think because I actually recently, just in the last week, I listed out the treatises of the Summa because this is kind of interesting because when Thomas Aquinas sits down, back in the 13th century, and he says, I'm going to write this Summa, right? If you figure, well, how did he kind of get it in his mind what he was going to do? And I actually put a video out about this, is that I think he would originally have, and I am getting to Buddy's question, I promise. He would have originally had the treatises down. So like the first treatise is the Treatise on Sacred Doctrine.
Right.
And then you have the treatise on the one God. And then the treatise on the Most Holy Trinity. And then, the governance and conservation of the world. And then, so anyways, and then you start filling in questions, and then you start filling in articles, and I think that would be the natural way to do it. There is a treatise on the distinction of good and evil, and it's early on in the Summa. I want to say it's definitely in Prima Pars, which is the first part of the Summa, and I want to say it's like maybe the 6th treatise. There's a treatise on the distinction of things in general, and that's where you get the questions like, why are there so many creatures in the world? Why do we need grasshoppers and crickets and cows and, dogs and orangutans, not just, angels and humans? That's the treatise on the distinctions of things in general. And then right after that is the treatise on the distinction of good and evil. And so it's interesting. It's kind of like in that part of the Summa where talking about God, creation is in there. So that's where it is. But
Good luck, buddy.
I can email it to you.
That'd be a good idea.
But it's more than one question, so it can't be like a
right. It's not just like one.
So. It's like showing him the ocean and be like, "There's a fish in there. Go get it."
But I would be curious if Buddy's still listening, is if he has found the Summa online, because I go to it every day. I have a little link.
Yeah.
And that's where I cut and paste, for this, because I'm pretty sure the Summa is public domain. There's nobody that I have to ask permission to do that.
From Aquinas.
Yeah, since Thomas has been, deceased for quite some time. All right, very good question. Let's see. Oh, somebody's made a comment that ensoulment was. Who said that? White Wolf said that. That ensoulment was the 5th month into like pregnancy. I don't think it was that long.
I thought it was only a few weeks.
Yeah, I think what it was. Do you know what delayed ensoulment is?
No.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sorry.
You'll never be able to say no again.
Fantastic.
So you're about to learn it. So we believe that matter and soul kind of meet at the same moment. That's the point of conception, right? And I think generally we believe that right when I guess just to be biological, when sperm meets egg, that's when we generally believe that the soul is animated, right? Because then you have you have the matter, and then you have the form or the the soul that unites with it, and you've got a human being, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Thomas had a problem with that because, of course, he didn't have all the ability to go in and see what was going on, but he felt like the body had to grow to a point where it was able to receive a rational soul, because he can't imagine like something so very tiny and
interesting.
Unsophisticated receiving. So he thought that there had to be a little bit of time for the body to develop and be able to be a suitable receptacle, like to receive a soul. Does that make sense?
Okay, so that's where people got the idea that
Yeah.
he wasn't fully pro-life.
Yeah, so people are thinking, oh, well, then like the first 2 weeks you can abort because it's not a human being yet.
Yeah.
And I think my thesis when I wrote the paper was that, but it was the matter was it being prepared to receive a soul. And so why would you destroy that? Because that's
still
a potential human being.
Still is,
if I said, this bottle of water is going to turn into a human being in 2 weeks, well, would you say, okay, well, let's kill it? I mean,
Let's kill it.
I often have violent thoughts about a water bottle. About a water bottle.
Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
when you come in my office and throw them at me?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. That's the violent thoughts I have about.
You need to stop that.
Those are the
sister.
violent thoughts I have about Dave, apparently.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We are going to have to move on to trivia here in a second, but boy, there's a lot of stuff. I feel like we've probably missed a lot.
Yeah.
We got some pretty chatty people, and we appreciate it very much. All these comments.
Mark Lowe, bilocated. He's both on Facebook and YouTube. He just wanted to make sure we knew that. Yeah.
Mark.
So pretty talented over there.
You have to have two bodies to be on two different platforms.
Apparently. Yeah.
Oh, he said he bilocated.
Yeah, he said he bilocated because he's on both
Okay.
platforms right now.
Maybe
But
if
I'm
he's
pretty
in,
sure
like, two
that's
different
opening two
rooms.
different browsers.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a lot of people watching and chatting today, which we really appreciate. Colin and White Wolf. Mario was on earlier.
He's gone.
Mario, he left. He came to insult us and then left.
Oh, wow.
Did he insult us?
Well, no, because you said about Diane was there to answer all those calls that we get, and he said she picks up the phone and says, "Hello, Dave."
Okay.
Like you're the
Is
only
that
one.
kind of like a hit and run?
I think so. That was a roast and leave.
You join a show, you insult him, and then you bail.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? David L. Gray, I think he not to call out any specific people, but David L. Gray has a show Wednesdays, 4:00. Sissel's a producer.
Yep.
It's called Voicing Truth and Reason with David L. Gray. Yeah, awesome.
With the donut in one hand and the Bible in the other.
Okay, White Wolf is talking about Ukraine and jabs. But White Wolf, man, you are prolific. Anyways, good to hear from everybody, and pretty cool topic. That brought up a lot of conversation.
It was, yeah. I mean, we probably could go. I'd probably do a part 2 to that at some point in time.
Yeah,
a lot there.
Yeah. We've never done a part 2, have we?
Did we do 2 on angels one time? Didn't we? Or
Go
no?
do 2 one time.
Sorry. 2 on. Never mind. I'm just gonna. Never mind.
Could you do? Yeah.
What?
Okay. No. I think we only did one show on angels.
Okay.
Didn't
We did.
Now there's certainly material to do another one. Would you like to do angels again?
That'd be fun. I'd
Possibly,
like that.
yeah.
And was that back in the radio days?
That was back in the good
Back
old
in the radio days. Back in
Yeah.
the days when we were on the air.
Yeah.
May they rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
it's okay. We get to hang out with cool people when we're online.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
It's a different
I
dynamic.
think it's kind of fun. People get to see
You know, a
us.
little loosey goosey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they want to see us sometimes, but it's okay. Well,
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, you get to see us whether you like it or not.
All right.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and transition into our next phase of our show.
All right.
And so, Sissel, if you want to do the honors, and don't be generic. Do
all right.
something creative.
It's
okay?
that time of the show where we give Dave Suma to think about, and he gets it right. But this time, we're playing for muffins that Dave cannot eat.
Which I cannot eat, but I can bring them home for
Exactly.
my family.
And there's
It's just the
5 of
honor
them.
having the muffin.
It's honor.
Yeah.
And they also smell really good, I will say. I've been trying to figure out this whole. Sorry, this is really random, but the whole time I've been trying to figure out what type of muffin this is.
I think cinnamon. And don't you think? I mean,
Possibly, yeah. I can't tell. Someone's gonna have to eat one to let us
gosh,
know.
how nice that lady! She borrows a cable for like 2 hours, and
Yeah.
we get 6 muffins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 muffins, but yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
but
count date?
okay. Well, yeah. 5, 6. I mean, come on.
The same thing.
All right. So who? Everybody came equipped.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Okay. So I think you've gone first the last couple of times. So let's Sissel take the honors this time.
Sweet. So last week I did the theme of popes. I kind of gave some random pope facts. And this time I'm going to do kind of similar, but we're sticking to one pope. And
One
one
particular pope?
Yes, John Paul II. Because I found a lot of really
yeah.
interesting facts about him.
Oh, okay.
Y'all may know some of these, but he had a lot of he was a lot of firsts and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
first,
How many total questions?
It's about 5, I believe.
About
five.
like,
I
kind of
kinda-
like the 5 muffins.
yeah, I like the 5 muffins.
About 5 or 6.
Maybe 6. It kind of depends on how I break them up. So,
Okay.
first off, let me see if either of you know what was the year that he was ordained a priest.
Ooh, wow.
He was old, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I know when he became pope, so I'm not going to say that out loud because I don't want to give Jonathan the answer in case that's
thanks,
one.
Dave.
But can I be within 5 years? Will I be right?
5 years is a lot. Can we be within 3 years?
No,
years.
you have to make it
Okay.
like 1 or 2, like 5 or 6. you know?
Yeah, 2.
Well, let's see. He died in 2005,
Okay.
and I want to say he was like 80 when he died, thereabouts.
I don't honestly remember.
So let's go back, and that means that he would have been born in 25, probably about. Okay, so in 45 he was 20, probably not ordained yet. I'm gonna say 1951.
I'm
So-
going to say 1948.
1948. Ooh. So if we're going by who's closest, Jonathan wins.
But we're not going by that.
We're not going by that. Okay, 1946.
Oh wow!
But is it within 2? I said 3
okay, I
years,
said
right?
51, and you said
48.
48. Oh,
So which now
yeah.
made me think about
How would I possibly have won? I mean,
there's no way.
ow!
Wow, that one was really
Yeah.
hurt. He was
Yeah.
84, by the way, when he died.
I knew it because you said
he was
80. I figured I remember him being slightly older, so I went back a little
There
bit.
you go.
Okay.
All right.
White Wolf said 46.
46
So
was the year. He got it right.
got
Good
it right.
job.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. He gets a muffin.
Yeah.
You get
Come
a
get it.
muffin.
Come get your
You get a-
muffin.
So my next question is I lost my questions. Hold on. There they are. How many countries? So Pope John Paul II was known for being the Pope who traveled to the most,
Yeah.
traveled the most.
Yeah.
Well, he also had the benefit of airplanes and things. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of helps
Didn't have
a
to go
little
by
bit.
ship, right.
Didn't have to go by ship or horseback. It helps. And Pope mobiles also help. So he traveled to how many countries in his
How many
lifetime?
countries? Within 3, is that right?
I'll
Just
do it-
whoever
for this
gets
one,
closest.
yeah, whoever gets
okay,
closest.
Jonathan, you go first because I think
All right,
I think you were kind of taking my guess and then you just kind of went around it. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
15 countries.
Oh gosh.
That was a low ball,
Oh
man.
man. Jonathan, 15 countries?
Okay, Colin.
I've been to like 7 countries. I mean.
I've only been to 1.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I think it's a lot more than that. But is it like in Price is Right? If you go over, you're
That's
disqualified.
what. So
or-
literally, Mark Lowe just commented saying, "Price is Right rules. Closest without going over wins."
Oh no, sir.
No,
Well, then in that case, I'd say 16. I mean,
no. You're
then
gonna
at least
do.
I win.
Well, for
I'm
this
not-
one,
Okay, I'm not in it to win it. I'm in it, because
learn.
I want to learn.
he wants to be right.
And, okay, I'm gonna say he visited 75 countries.
75. Okay, so other guesses. Colin guesses
Whoa,
145.
my goodness.
Mark guesses 120, and Buddy guesses 55. So all
Wow.
across the
How
board.
many
Now I
countries?
feel
How many?
stupid.
How many countries are there?
There's
in the
close to
world?
200 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
129.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's Mark is the closest.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
100. I don't have the list of those countries. Sorry. Maybe I can do that another time. But
Yeah, I think it'd be a little way if you were like list them all out on
Yeah.
the radio. I mean, that
that would be a little extensive. But yeah.
129.
I could have wrapped it, done it
nothing
really
so
fast.
riveting as
Yeah.
somebody, listing off country
And
names.
Lithuania. Yeah. Okay. Also, that by the way, that's about 750,000 frequent flyer miles.
Ooh, wow.
Which is about 3 times the distance to the moon.
Yeah, he probably got free drinks on the plane.
I would say at least
He
one.
had his own plane,
I
right?
think the
And he didn't
the
fly
Popo
like,
plane.
like,
Popo plane. Pope plane.
Hope Airlines.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay. Now, he was the first pope, first modern pope. Now, I don't exactly know what they're saying by modern, but I'm going to say
Okay.
21st century
A lot
on.
of qualifiers here.
Yeah. Sorry. First modern pope to visit what place of worship? What kind of place of worship?
Oh, a mosque.
No.
Mosque. Okay. What's your S?
Is that assumed? That's just okay.
I-
I'm right.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm right. I'm gonna say Buddhist.
A Buddhist temple?
A Buddhist temple.
Okay, you're both wrong, actually. It's a synagogue. Synagogue.
But he did. Okay, he went to a synagogue.
I'm sure he might have gone to a mosque too, but in this particular one, he was the first modern pope
Jesus
to visit
went
a
to
synagogue.
synagogues.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, but he's not modern.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
he didn't quite.
He's always ancient.
Yeah,
always new.
he doesn't count for any of those
Well, what kind of
qualifiers.
question is that? Like, oh, he's the
All
first
right.
modern.
And one last question, all right?
Okay.
And he was the first pope to visit this country. Now, he went to a lot of countries.
You're not asking I thought you were going to say like, where was he from, or when did he become pope, or...
Come on, guys, we're beyond that.
Come on, man.
Maybe we can go back next week. We can do the easy part one.
So he was the... what was the question again?
He was the first pope to visit this
country. This country.
No, this country.
Okay,
this
so
particular
Jonathan
country.
seems pretty certain about Japan. I don't think it's Japan.
I will say this. Water, it is around water. It is around a lot of water. It's a lot of water. He's going to Japan, so he could be right.
Okay, Japan is an island, so
Yeah.
that's certainly wrong. But the fact that you said that
Doesn't necessarily mean anything.
makes me believe that Jonathan's not right.
Or am I doing reverse psychology over here?
Oh, yeah.
Have I practiced my poker face and things?
Yeah, I'm going to say...
Got Ireland and India votes.
I'm going to say China.
China? Okay.
That's not really around water, though, is it? I mean, it's so big.
It's kind of around everything.
Yeah, it's around everything. Yeah. So I think I'm wrong, but...
Okay, you're both wrong. It's Cuba.
Oh, Cuba!
Cuba. So, all right, those
that's
my...
right. That's right.
There's actually a lot of random facts about Pope John Paul II, so I might do a part 2 in a couple weeks when we come back.
All right, can't wait. Yeah, that's by the way. We won't be here next week because we got Sherathon. Okay, Jonathan, you want to go next?
Alrighty. Okay, this is I don't know what to. Okay, this is.
Jonathan, it's never easy, man, with you. It's always like some explanation. I'm not ready.
No. Okay,
Man.
I have picked 5 states. So all 50 states have 1 or 2 patron saints.
Okay.
So I picked 5.
I'm learning that for the first time.
States have patron saints?
They do, yes.
What?
Really?
Most of them are Mary. Some version of Mary. But anyway, if you don't even know they have patron saints,
we're not going to do very well, are we?
Okay.
Okay. Maybe. Well. Anyway, I'm just gonna say the name of the state, and you have to guess the patron saint.
Oh, can you say the patron saint and we say the state?
Yeah, can we do it that way, please?
Probably easier.
Because we have at least a 1 in 50 chance.
Yeah, right.
So we're starting with Texas. Now,
Okay.
Texas is awesome because it has 2. St. Antonio of Magril and Our...
Wait,
You just gave the answers.
wait.
I just gave you...
Oh, man. Jonathan.
Okay.
I've done this before. It's fine.
No, it's okay.
That's
Because
okay.
Texas has 2. So here...
Okay. Okay, why don't you just do another state? Do another
St.
state.
Nicholas.
St. Nicholas.
Okay.
Okay.
St. Nicholas, it's got to be somewhere up north.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to figure
it
out.
wouldn't be like Arizona.
Would it be the Northeast, though, or like
Wait.
the Midwest North?
Yeah, St. Nicholas is a patron saint of a state.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
No, not Minnesota.
You said
New
Minnesota.
York.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
This all.
Yes.
All right, don't
Does that
gloat.
mean I get
Don't
a month?
gloat.
That's your home state, Dave. You should have known this.
You're right. Well, it's my native state.
Native
yeah.
state.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't live there.
yeah,
you think
yeah.
I fly in for the
Yeah,
show?
every day you come in. All right, Our Lady of the Annunciation.
Our Lady of the Annunciation.
Wisconsin. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I'm going to say Massachusetts.
No, Texas.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
The Annunciation. Interesting.
Okay.
I kind of want to know the backstories of why these particular, countries were. These particular states were chosen for.
I gave this one away, but San Antonio.
Hey, buddy, got New York, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
San Antonio was a friar somewhere in Texas during the 1800s, and I don't know what exactly he did to become.
San Antonio was a friar?
San Antonio Magril.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But San Antonio was named after Saint Anthony of Padua.
Yeah, no, that's not named after him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
different guy. All right, now Our Lady of the Gulf.
Well, that kind of narrows it.
So got to be one of those.
Actually, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's not a state on the Gulf.
Oh,
Well,
come
what's the
on.
point?
Unless my geography is messed up.
Okay.
which
Is
could
it
very
along
well
the
be.
ocean at all?
Why would it be a lady of a? Well, but if you're North Carolina, why would
Is
it
it
be
a Northeast state?
No, it's
the
not.
the Gulf of Mexico only touches like
Texas
5 states.
and yeah, like those bottom
Florida,
southern ones.
Alabama, Louisiana,
Mississippi.
and Texas.
Okay, you
Yeah.
did just say it somewhere in there, so I was wrong. It is along the Gulf.
Okay, is it Louisiana?
Mississippi.
No.
Alabama.
Yes.
Oh,
Alabama.
okay.
Doesn't count. I guessed it several times, but
still.
Yeah, that's all right.
how did you not know that was along the ocean?
Well, because I get Alabama and Mississippi mixed up sometimes.
But they're
and, like,
both along the ocean.
I'm not
Yeah,
good with geography.
don't you know down south of Alabama, there's what's that city way down south?
Mobile.
It's Mobile, yeah. Have you ever driven through Mobile?
Driven through Mobile.
They got that
beautiful
big
oceanfront tunnel. Yeah,
and
yeah.
they got that big ship.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
all
no.
sorts of-
I just know that there is a place called Texas, and that it is very large, And I know the
So he knows
general
Texas
layout.
geography is
and
what he's saying.
You've only been to
Yes.
one country. Have you?
I've only ever been to Texas. That's the only country I've ever
Have you been
to.
outside of Texas?
Very few times.
Really?
Mhm.
Are you? Is that kind of like one of your goals? Is like never leave Texas?
Well, I want to go to a few places around the U.S., but generally I want to stay in Texas.
White
Okay.
Wolf is
Pride
saying
thing.
that Texas is a great state, but Montana is the best state.
That is a lie.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
You know, my wife wants to go to Montana so bad.
It's beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Yeah,
I've been.
beautiful.
big
Texas.
big sky country.
Big sky country. It's
Or
gorgeous.
say, they used to say, a weathercaster I saw one time say that, talking about the national forecast, and they said that the state up here were like all the square states.
Yeah, the
they're
box
all
states.
very boxy,
I think Montana only has one area code for the whole state.
Really?
Or is it Wyoming? One of those two. Both those those states are very
but
beautiful.
Mississippi only has one.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Well,
601.
601, yeah.
Oklahoma only has one. They may not be right. 12. Wait. Okay, never mind.
All right, I have one more.
Arkansas, I think, only has one.
okay, maybe that wasn't that special. Was it one zip code maybe or something like that? I don't know. It was something. There was a big thing there. Anyhow, continue. Move on.
I have
Okay.
one more thing
Oh,
here.
okay.
Okay.
St. Francis of Assisi.
Francis of Assisi.
Country, a state with a lot of animals. No.
Yeah. Gosh, it's kind of a, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm going to say California.
No.
I'm going to say
This was on a roll, by the way.
I am, but I don't.
It starts
Washington.
with a C.
Oh,
Dave
well-
was on that.
Connecticut.
No.
Colorado.
Yes.
Because it does have a lot of animals there. And
Why do I stink so badly at this? This was
so
like,
funny.
all right.
Everyone, we had all
difficult.
sorts of guesses, by the way. Iowa, New Jersey, like Louisiana, all
This-
sorts of things.
This is 2 weeks in a row, man. You came like
With something
locked
halfway decent.
and loaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the new Jonathan von Weber Hansberg. I mean,
Reborn. It's Lent.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't even remember the
Gave
old
up
you.
being bad at trivia for Lent.
Well, let's see if you last the rest of the weeks.
Okay. I'm want to kind of tie in mine to some kind of thing going on in the. So anyway, these are St. Patrick related trivia.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
almost did that, so I'm
Okay.
glad I didn't.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I thought about St. Joseph, St. Patrick.
Yeah, I
and-
also was thinking about St. Joseph, but I was like, we just did the year of St. Joseph. Everyone's going to know everything. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
decided not to
Yeah.
go there.
Okay, so you could just I'll keep score. You just
Do I get extra credit
You can
if I-
just you can just shout out the answer.
Okay.
Okay. And
Wait,
if anybody beats you online, they get a point.
Oh.
And a
Okay?
muffin,
Yeah.
a
We should
virtual
get-
muffin.
We should get extra credit if we do it in an Irish accent.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
Or if you actually give the answer in Gaelic,
Oh yeah.
I
extra point.
know,
don't
like-
even want to try to attempt
I
an
know like
Irish
2
accent.
words in Gaelic.
Okay, so
Top of the morning to
tell
you.
me what I'm describing here.
Okay.
And now, when I say St. Patrick, I mean St. Patrick and things related with Ireland. And
Yeah.
okay, so it doesn't have to be just about him. Okay.
Beer.
Okay. The word in Irish literally means small-bodied fellow.
Leprechaun.
Wow, Sissel, yes.
I know my lucky charms.
Yes. Always have to be lucky charms.
Lucky
Stems
charms.
from Celtic belief in fairies. Okay, so I'm going to put an S there if you're scoring at home. Don't worry, she beat me pretty soundly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, in case you remember.
Yeah.
Okay. This was called a Shemroy by the Celts.
Shamrock.
Oh, it's a shamrock. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
Jay
I was like,
Jonathan.
Shamrock sitting there going, did he just misread Shamrock?
Shamrock, yeah.
My brain was too slow to catch up with that.
Considered a sacred plant that symbolized the arrival of spring. And it's a 3-leaf clover.
Yep.
And of course, Patrick used it to describe the Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What? Okay. Let's see. Okay. What? Oh, this is too easy. But
Well, it's just
okay.
the first one.
What is the meal typically associated
Corned
with?
Corned beef cabbage and potatoes.
Okay. Yeah, she got all of it, Jonathan.
I had it
okay?
the other week.
They get a little bit harder. Okay.
Although, didn't your wife say she's
What?
never actually had that?
What?
Yeah,
And she's Irish?
She's never had it. Yeah, yeah. It's an American thing. It's
Oh,
not.
yeah,
It's
like-
not an
like
Irish
fortune
thing.
cookies?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like like Ireland said, "Oh, I'm gonna have a traditional American dish of like
A hot dog.
Yeah,
No, it's not even really.
yeah,
Everything
or
is,
like,
is very few. Barbecue.
like-
Settlers food, like
Coleslaw
but
and
something
baked
that
beans.
like we never even
I eat
eat.
those.
You know?
Oh,
like,
I don't know anything.
Okay, you don't know anything that we don't eat.
Twinkies.
We pretty much eat everything.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's see. What color was no? Be careful here. Okay, what color was associated with the man Saint Patrick? It was Saint
Oh.
Patrick's. He was actually associated with a color. I'm gonna see if anybody out there
Well, green is the obvious answer, but I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that's not right, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, that would be the low-hanging fruit.
It would be.
Yeah.
Or is it reverse psychology? No, I'm just kidding.
The color green became associated with St. Patrick's Day after it was linked to the Irish independence movement in the late 18th century. Because Ireland is very green. If you ever fly in there, you know, like the other day we flew into Midland, and it's, you know, very kind of barren and kind of desert. You fly into Ireland, and it's like, wow, it's all green. I mean, it's like, duh, of course, it's Ireland. Okay, St. Patrick's blue.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he was associated with the color blue.
A particular tone of blue? Sky blue or something?
I'm not sure.
Saintly blue.
Fuchsia was what Mark Lowe's guess was.
Okay, true or false? St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland.
False. I'm joking.
Yeah,
false.
Okay, you saying false?
I'm going to say false.
Okay, true or false? What are you going to say?
I'll just say true.
Okay. They say, according to fossil records, Ireland has never had snakes. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Saw an Instagram post about this.
I think it was more symbolic.
Symbolic that he drove them out.
Driving those.
I think
nasty
Scott
serpents
Hahn shared a fantastic meme of him literally driving like in a car with the snakes in the back.
They were complaining.
Going like, "Are we there yet?"
Okay, so St. Patrick did not go by Patrick. You know that because that's
by Paddy, of course.
Okay,
we all know this.
Oh, Paddy. Okay, his Irish name was Maiwin Sukkot, and I would never expect anybody to know.
I'm really glad you didn't ask us that question.
Okay, but what was his name? Because he was actually given a name in Latin. Okay, so but what was his Latin name? Because he
Smith.
John Smith.
I'm joking.
Jonas Smithus.
Jonas.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of sounds like Patrick. You know, I bet you when I say it, you'll say, "Oh yeah, of course."
Patricio.
What? Patricio.
Patricio. Patrick. What's that?
Okay.
Patrick.
Let's see if anybody.
Maximus.
Let's see. Colin said, "I've never seen a snake in Ireland unless it was imported." Look at Mark got it. Patricius.
Yes.
Yeah,
Patricia.
you guys have been, you know.
Yeah, we were getting close, but we weren't quite there.
All right, we're down to about the last three questions here. Which city in America first observed St. Patrick's Day in
Chicago.
Dublin in America.
Dublin, Texas.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Chicago?
No.
New York City.
No.
Philadelphia.
First. You think about where all the Irish people went.
To the south, right?
No.
Yeah.
That's not right. But I thought there was a pretty big population in Chicago.
In Chicago. Yeah, I guess so.
Chicago, but they're in New York.
I often think
there's a lot of Irish people in New York.
I often think of White Wolf is saying New York City.
That's what I thought, New York City.
No, Boston.
Boston. I don't think about.
Okay, 1737, first observance of St. Patrick's Day, 1737. But what city had the first St. Patrick's Day parade?
New York City.
There you go. Yes. All right.
See, White Wolf also gets Chicago.
Okay, in Chicago.
Okay.
Speaking of the Windy City, the Plumbers Local 110 Union does what?
It was green, ties of River Green.
Oh, yeah, I know about that. I heard that.
One of my very, very good friends is from Chicago.
Yeah, they do that every year still, right?
They do.
How do you dye a river? Because the river flows.
I gotta ask, because like with all the environmental thing going on, I can't believe they still let them do that. Like I feel like that would be
but dye isn't. It's not like they're drinking
probably
it.
non-toxic.
No, but I'm thinking about to the fish and anything that's in there. Yeah.
Well,
Mark, by the way, says Boston. I get a muffin.
Yeah. Well, he actually could get a muffin.
He could come get a muffin.
Yeah. You come if you're here in the next 30 minutes, Mark.
And Mark, if you bring a volunteer with you for our.
He's coming anyways, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, last one. Fill in the blank. On or around St. Patrick's Day every year, the Irish Taoiseach or whatever, that's kind of like the prime minister, presents the U.S. president with a blank.
A beer, something of beer.
Filled with blank as a symbol of the close ties between the two countries.
A pint of beer.
A pint of Guinness.
A pint of Guinness, yeah.
I actually had Guinness last night. But
is that anything to do with alcohol?
No.
A vase full of 4-leaf clover.
No. A barrel of potatoes. Is that anything to do with food?
No.
Oh.
It has something to do with something we've already mentioned.
So the shamrocks, a bunch of shamrocks?
It's in Shamrocks, but what's it going to come with? What is Ireland known for? Especially one city way down south in Ireland. It's like it's synonymous with
rocks.
Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms. Yeah.
Always talk to me, Lucky Charms. No. Have you ever heard of Waterford?
No.
Oh, Waterford Crystal.
Yeah.
Full of shamrocks?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it's a crystal
I have
bowl
Waterford Crystal, actually. My
of
mom liked it.
It says live shamrocks. I guess they don't want to give them dead shamrocks.
See,
you know?
other people are guessing
Bad
Guinness
luck.
too, by the way.
Oh, that would even be better. Yeah. I have Irish crystal. We got some for a
Yeah,
wedding.
my mom did too. So we
Yeah,
have
but
some.
Waterford's way down south. It's like on the southern coast of the Republic of Ireland. So, all right, that was fun. I
Yeah.
think all three of us did well. When's Diane going to bring trivia?
Yeah,
yeah.
Diane.
Diane gets to just slack off every single week and never bring trivia because I can't make fun of Jonathan any longer because he's doing so well.
Yeah.
So he's got to have
I
someone
can
else.
contribute to the trivia.
There you go.
Contribute to the answers. Yeah.
There you go. She can
All
feed
right.
me the answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for all the comments. Colin, Mark, and Buddy, and White Wolf. And who else did we hear from? Mario.
Mario
with
was
the
there
hit and run.
briefly. Yeah.
Hit and run.
Hit and run.
Roast and run.
Roast, yeah. I like
Roast and run.
that.
There's someone named Dave Palmer was on here at one point.
Oh, I just said hello, right? yeah, ignore that guy. All right. Well, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Sissel. Thanks, Diane. We'll see you in 2 weeks. No show next week. But we'll have another fun topic to talk about, okay? God bless you. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at grnonline.com.